Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to make a lovely recipe which is creamy chicken with mashed potato bake. This recipe was inspired by our shepherd pie, but we can't call it a chicken's shepherd pie because chickens don't have a shepherd. So for my creamy chicken, I have 4 chicken breast, which is 600 grams. I am going to rinse and dice fine. I also have 1 medium size onions diced. I'm going to use a splash of olive oil, and here I got 4 cloves of large garlic which I'm going to crush, and some lovely fresh thyme to go with. I'm also using 250 grams of mushroom which I'll rinse and pat it dry and slice. I've got 1 cup of mixed frozen vegetable, a teaspoon of chicken spice, and thereafter I'm going to use a grain of salt, a grain of pepper, a sprinkle of paprika, and a cup of fresh cream. We are going to prepare our ingredients and then we'll be ready to braise. I've got my stove on medium heat and I'm using a flat saucepan. I'm just going to put a little bit of my olive oil. And to my oil. Now the oil is heated up, so I'm going to throw in my onions first and allow these onions to fry soft. My onions is fried out nice and soft. I am going to add in my crushed garlic, and here I strip the leaves off the stalk of the thyme. Also going to add in and allow this to fry for a few seconds. To my onions, I'm also going to add a generous grain of black pepper to it. Give this a mix. I'm going to add in my chicken spice. And I'm also going to add in a generous sprinkle of paprika. This is my chicken breast that we cubed into smaller pieces. I'm going to add it in, and it will also rinsed and drained out. I'm going to give this a good mix. I'm going to add my generous grain of salt to it. I will lower my heat a little and allow this to fry after a good mix. 8 minutes has passed and my chicken came to a nice fry. So to this, I'm going to add in my cup of mixed veg. And also give this a nice mix. And thereafter, I am going to add in my mushroom. As you can see, we sliced our mushroom identical to the pieces of chicken that we have. So I'm going to throw in my mushroom. I will give this a mix and I will let it to cook on a very low heat while I get ready to prepare my mash. For my mashed potatoes, I have a kg of potato that are boiled out, and I am going to peel it now that it's gone cool. I also added 5 cloves of garlic to my potato as it was boiling, so it got nice and soft. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of margarine, half a teaspoon of white pepper, and 1 teaspoon of heaped fine salt, but we will taste along the way. And I'm also going to add in some lovely fresh spring onions, which I will slice into my mashed potato, and half a cup of milk, but I will adjust if needed more. And I also have a cup of cheese that I grated, which is going to go on top of my pie when baking. And I'm also going to preheat my oven to 175 degrees. So now I will place my grated cheese into the fridge, and I'm going to switch my oven on. I peeled out my boiled potatoes, and before mashing, I'm going to add in my other ingredients, which is the garlic, the margarine, the salt, the pepper. Using a potato masher, I'm just going to break down the potatoes. I mashed my potatoes and it's looking quite moist, but here I have half cup of milk to add on. I'm going to adjust. I'll use half of this half cup and I'll mix it through. My mash doesn't need any more milk. I use quarter of the cup milk, and you have to adjust because we get different types of potatoes. We also adjusted the salt with another half teaspoon, and now it's right. So I'm just going to throw in my spring onions, and I'm going to mix it. Now my mash is ready. I'm just going to cover and keep aside. My mushrooms are also fried, and I'm going to use this fresh cream, which is a cup. I'm going to give this a nice mix and increase my heat, and I allow this to get a little bit thick. 5 minutes has passed and my cream is thickened up a little bit. I'm going to switch my stove off. As this is going to bake in the oven, it will get more thicker. So now we are going to go across and put our pie together. Here I have my baking dish, which I added spray and cook to it. This is a nice deep casserole to work with. I'm going to try to spoon most of my chicken into the casserole. Just want to make it very even. And this I'll just tip it over, so I'll get it all in to the tray. Here's my creamy chicken that I tried to put into my baking tray and cut it on a level. To this, I'm going to add in my potatoes. I'm going to level my mashed potatoes. My mashed potatoes is also added in, and it's to the level. And Pranesh says to me that I use so much of mash, so this dish will be called chicken aloo king. And don't forget to watch our chicken ala king recipe that we made a while back. So here's my grated cheese. I'm going to sprinkle it on top. I will quickly wash my hands and then I'm ready to pop this into the oven. I'm going to pop in my creamy chicken and mashed potato bake into the oven for 20 minutes till my cheese is nicely melted, and it will also allow it to bake together. "20 minutes has passed and I am ready to take my tray off the oven. There you go. Look how tempting it's looking. And we will allow this to cool, then we are ready to serve. Here you go, your lovely creamy chicken with mashed potatoes bake. And also on the side, we have got a lovely green salad to go with. And this tray of creamy chicken bake can serve 6 to 8 people. We have a thunderstorm rolling through. This makes for a lovely hearty meal for a nice rainy day. Thank you all for watching and enjoy.